The living room air hung heavy, like the walls themselves were holding their breath. My hands trembled as I gripped the phone, its screen frozen on a video that had already punched a hole straight through my chest. The timestamp glared back at me, 2:17 a.m., outside some bar I'd never even heard of. The footage was blurry, but her face was unmistakable. She was laughing under neon lights, her hand brushing a stranger's arm. I sat motionless on the couch, the leather groaning under my weight, the faint buzz of the refrigerator slicing through the stillness. My heart hammered inside my ribs, an enemy in my own chest, as I listened for the sound of her key in the lock. The door clicked open. "I'm home," Sarah called out, her voice airy, like she was tossing confetti into the room. Her heels tapped across the hardwood. I heard the whisper of her coat sliding from her shoulders. I didn't move. I couldn't. The phone felt like a live grenade in my palm, the pin already yanked. "In here," I said, my voice low, barely concealing the tremor. She stepped into the doorway, her auburn hair catching the lamplight, her smile soft but flickering as soon as she saw my face. "Sit," I told her, gesturing toward the couch opposite me. "Watch this." Her brow furrowed, but she obeyed, sinking slowly into the cushions. I pressed play. The video sprang to life, a shaky recording from a friend's phone, sent an hour earlier with just one word: "Sorry." Sarah's laughter trickled through the speakers, faint and far away, as she leaned closer to Man, her fingers lingering on his sleeve. The camera zoomed, catching the sparkle in her eyes, the graze of his hand at her lower back. The clip cut off abruptly, leaving behind a silence louder than sound. Sarah's breath caught, her hands folded in her lap, clenching until her knuckles blanched. "Where did you get this?" she whispered, her voice thin and brittle, like glass about to crack. "Does it matter?" I asked, leaning forward, elbows digging into my knees. The room still smelled faintly of her perfume, jasmine, sharp and familiar, now twisted into something bitter. "Who is he, Sarah?" She didn't answer right away. Her eyes darted to the floor, then to the window, where the streetlights cut through the blinds in thin stripes across her face. "It's not what it looks like," she finally said, her words careful, rehearsed. It was just a moment, a stupid, meaningless moment. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. For 12 years we'd built a life. Lazy Sunday mornings with coffee and crosswords, her head on my chest during late-night movies, her humming off-key in the shower. But this video wasn't the first fracture. There had been late nights at the office, her phone face down on the counter, her new passcode she never shared. Little things, all easy to explain away until they weren't. "Tell me," I said, my voice cracking. "Tell me everything." She swallowed, her throat bobbing. "His name's Ethan. He's just a co-worker. We were out with the team celebrating a big project. I had too much to drink, and She stopped, pressing her lips tight, as though the truth might spill out if she wasn't careful. "And you what?" My voice rose, cutting through her excuses like a blade. "You let him touch you? You laugh like you were happy, Sarah, like you were alive in a way you haven't been with me in months." Her eyes flared, a spark of defiance flickering through her guilt. "You think I'm happy? You think I'm alive?" she snapped. "You're never here, Mark. You're buried in your work, your laptop, your endless meetings. When was the last time you even looked at me? Really looked?" Her words landed like a slap, but didn't erase the image burned into my mind. Her hand on his arm, her smile brighter than it had been in years. "So this is my fault?" I shot back, standing now, pacing the room. The floorboards creaked beneath my steps. "You're blaming me for you sneaking around?" "I'm not sneaking," she retorted, rising to face me, her cheeks flushed, eyes glistening with unshed tears. "It was one night, one stupid, drunken night. I didn't sleep with him, Mark. I didn't even kiss him." "Then why does it feel like you did?" I stopped, fists clenching at my sides. The room seemed smaller, the walls pressing in, the air thick with everything we hadn't said. I thought about the late-night text she'd brushed off as work stuff, the red lipstick she started wearing again, the one from when we were dating, the way she pulled away when I tried to hold her, her body stiff like she was hiding something. "Mark!" She said, softer now, stepping closer. She reached for me, but I flinched and she froze. I love you. I do. I got lost. I felt invisible and he saw me. Her words twisted the knife deeper. I sank back onto the couch, my head in my hands. The silence was deafening now, the kind that screams. I remembered the early days, when we stayed up talking until sunrise, when her laughter belonged only to me. How had we ended up here? When had I stopped seeing her? Say something, she pleaded, her voice barely a whisper. I looked up and met her eyes. They were wide, desperate, but beneath the guilt there was something else. Relief, maybe, like she'd been carrying the secret too long, and it had finally spilled out, raw and bleeding between us. I don't know if I can trust you. I said, the words heavy, final. Not after this. Her face crumpled. She dropped to her knees in front of me, clutching my hands. Please, Mark, I'll do anything. I'll stop seeing him. I'll quit my job if you want. Just don't give up on us. I pulled my hands free, her touch burning like betrayal. It's not about him, Sarah. It's about you. You chose to hide this. You chose to lie. She broke then, sobbing, a sound so raw it echoed in the hollow of my chest. I wanted to hold her, to tell her it would be okay, but the video looped in my mind. Her laughter, his hand, the way she leaned into him like he was her gravity. The doorbell rang, sharp, jarring. We both froze. I stood, my legs shaky, and walked the door. Through the peephole, I saw a tall man with dark hair, hands shoved in his pockets. Ethan. I recognized him instantly from the video, from the way he looked at her like she belonged to him. What's he doing here? I growled, turning to Sarah. Her eyes widened, panic flashing across her face. I don't know, she stammered. I swear I didn't. I yanked the door open before she could finish. Ethan's face went pale when he saw me, but he didn't back away. Mark, right? He said, his voice steady. Too steady. We need to talk. The world tilted. My pulse roared in my ears. I gripped the doorframe to stop myself from lunging at him. Behind me, Sarah's sobs grew louder, but I didn't turn. I stared at Ethan, at the man who had stepped into my life uninvited, and realized the truth wasn't in the video. It was here, in his eyes, in the way he stood too close to my door, too close to my wife. Get out, I said, my voice low and dangerous. But he didn't move, and in that instant, I knew whatever came next would break us.